Let's see. All righty. All right, before we start, just a quick housekeeping tip for everybody. Just a quick housekeeping. Last night on the Zoom, the call seemed to cut out at a weird time. It just disappeared, it went away. So if for some reason that were to happen again, it's not intentional, so just jump right back on. I don't know, I couldn't find anything as to why that would have happened, but I did get feedback that's happened to other people. So if for some reason that were to happen, just jump right back on. I'll just dial right back on. I don't think that's gonna happen. I also want to just, if you're new to this call, if this is the first time on the Zoom, then just know the way that it works here is you can type questions or comments at any time in the chat. Feel free to do that at any time. You can also raise your hand physically or with the cartoon hand raise, and I will call on you. And I'm definitely gonna open it up for a period at the end of this with a lot of questions answered. So if you've got questions and I'm not on that topic, please either type them here or hold them for them. But either way, I wanna make sure I'm answering all of your questions tonight, especially since we only have 2 days left of this challenge. So I wanna make sure you get all of your questions answered. And then I'm gonna jump right in. But the first thing I wanna have you do is there's a chat box. If you notice, there's a chat box on the right. Hopefully you're in a place where you can type on there. But I wanna ask you a couple questions, and I want you to write it in the chat if you're feeling it, okay? So like I always say, I kill fat. And we've been talking a lot about killing the fat on our bodies, but most importantly, those false assumed truths in our minds. So if you're in with I wanna kill fat, I want you to literally write it. Write it in the chat box, I wanna kill fat. There's something that gets in our body, moving, writing, saying it. So I wanna hear, I wanna kill fat. I love it. And for those of you that have not watched the previous ones, fat is not just the fat on our bodies, it's those false assumed truths, it's those stories that we've been telling ourselves over the years that we wanna get rid of because it's holding us back from greatness and from what's possible. The next thing I want you to write is, I want to kill, and then I want you to fill in the blank. Whatever it is that you have a concern around. So some examples are maybe a diagnosis that you have, maybe it's that stubborn belly fat, like physically. Maybe it's your lack of discipline. Maybe you want to kill that. Maybe it's you want to kill, your unhappiness. I want you to write whatever that is. My addiction to sugar. My stories around this. I love it. Get it out. And then I want you to, after that, I want you to write, I'm ready to step into, and I want you to fill that out. So I'm ready to step into what? And I love reading this. I want to kill my cravings for sugar. I'm ready to step into my confidence. That's great. I want to step into the new me. I'm ready to kill my sugar cravings. A lot of sugar cravings. I love that. I'm ready to step into a healthier lifestyle. I love when we have a visual, like I want to step into that little red dress. I love that. I love that. Keep them coming. I want to kill a sugar addiction. Great. I want to kill it all too. Let's help you do that. Let's help you do that. Okay, so a quick recap. So we are right now today, as I've been sharing with you, we are right now today here a result of years and years and years of thoughts, actions, beliefs, and habits. And I like to repeat this for you because it takes hearing it many times for it to really stick. But we are the direct result. Our bodies, our health, where we're living, our life, our circumstances are all a direct action, a direct result of actions, beliefs, and habits that we've had over the years. Now, all that we have reinforced over and over again, like we've done this over and over again, we've told ourselves this. And now, just like we've been chatting about all week, we are always operating through a set of lenses, like literally like a set of lenses that is basically a personal filter of our own past beliefs and experiences and situations that have made up exactly where we are right now today. So what that means is before this challenge, you might not have been fully aware of this, that you're literally the result today of those past experiences. But what that means is that new opportunities, new problems that arise are looked at very differently through people's different lenses. So if an opportunity falls on my lap, for example, and it falls on your lap, we're gonna look at it very different based on our past stories, circumstances, and experiences. Who gets that? Who gets that? So like what might look like an opportunity to one of us, to somebody else, we have another story around it. And that's what causes us to make different decisions. Like We're always making decisions moving forward based on our own set of past experiences and beliefs. So because you're literally the result today of your past, you can change that by taking new thoughts and actions. And what that means is those stories that we've had, although they keep us safe, they also hold us back from what we want to step into. Now, I know that all of you are seeing this and you're starting to get it because you're on day 4 of this challenge. So as I mentioned yesterday, and I will keep mentioning, this 5-day challenge is a great start, but it's the beginning of the journey. It's the beginning of a process. It can't solve everything for you. It's 5 days that are here to they're meant to have you open up your eyes, to look at this, to start taking ownership of this, but it's not designed to fully shift you. This is the start of that. So just to recap, so what we've learned so far is you've learned the power of deciding and declaring, right? Deciding and declaring, and you can use this in every part of your life. You've learned the power of committing versus trying, because trying doesn't work. You've learned the power of the why, like why we need to know that, because when you do that, it can change your motivation and willpower. You've learned how to unprocess your diet. Now, it's a start, but you've learned what that means, like what that means to eat healthy and eat unprocessed foods. And the importance of hydration, and how sometimes when we're bloated or fatigued or low on energy, or we think we have cravings, it might just be dehydration. And I hope you've been adding in the water and continuing that on. That wasn't just for a 1-day little mini challenge. You've learned about the importance of addition, of adding stuff in versus looking at everything you want to just take out. And then when it comes to workouts, you've learned about muscle versus fat, right? Hopefully, if you've seen all the videos, you've learned about the muscle versus fat, and about progression versus intensity, and about the power of body weight exercises. How many of you have done, just by show of hands, how many of you have been doing those morning challenge workouts? Surprising, right? What it can actually do for you. It's like, who would have thought that just 5 minutes of something could make such a significant difference on things? So the challenge is basically, my husband and I were talking about this earlier tonight. The challenge that you're doing, the 5-day challenge, is, to give you a visual, it's basically like the Uber or the Lyft or the taxi to get you to the airport. It gets you to the airport. But I want to get you on the plane and get you to Hawaii, because that's where the goal is. So this is a taste. This challenge that we've been in, we still have another day left, it's a taste. But I want you on that plane going to Hawaii. So today I want to look at where you want to go. Today we're going to step into vision and talking about what's possible for you. Because we don't have to be everything that we've become based on our past. So I want to talk about vision. So the first question I want to ask you to think about, if it was a year from now, and we were seeing each other again, you're back on a live masterclass with me, or maybe I run into you in person, who would you be? What would your life look like? Who would you be? And I'd love, is anyone open to sharing? Because I would love to pull you on and talk this through. Just raise your hand if you're open to this. And let me tell you something, if it sounds scary to share, let me share this. When you declare what it is that you want, it happens. There's something super cool about it. So I don't know if you were on the call yesterday, you saw Nicole that I showed you, this one. You saw Nicole. When she was here, she declared wanting this, and she's this now. So that's incredible. So if you're open to it, raise your hand. I'd love to have you share with me, if it's a year from now, where you'd be. I'm gonna scroll and see if anyone's got their hand up. Let's see. You might have to wave like that so I can say, oh, there we go, Shelly. Hi, Shelly. Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Okay, Shelly, if it was a year from now, where would you be?
A year from now, I would be 10 pounds lighter.
Okay.
I would be more confident in myself because not only my weight would be different, but my inner numbers would be different. My sugar count would be different. My cholesterol would be different. I would be an example to my sisters who are all overweight to see that it's possible to have a healthier life, and I just want to be an example to them that it's possible to still have fun and still do things. And I don't know. I know I'm rambling, but
No, you're not rambling at all.
I just see myself, in the last year, I've lost 13 pounds through your program, and I want to continue to lose the last 10 and be an example, to a healthy example. My one sister's already been diagnosed as diabetic. My other sister's asthmatic and overweight, and my third sister's overweight. And it's like, when we were kids, nobody grows up thinking, I want to be the fat group of sisters. You grow up thinking life's going to be okay. So I just want to be a healthy example to them and help them get on track.
So Shelly, I want to get in your body with that. So like, what would that feel like to be that?
I think it would feel like I'm a doer. I'm a server. I'm a pleaser person. I always want people to be happy with me, and I always want, I don't want people mad at me. And I think it would feel like I have a purpose and I have value that I can share and give to people I love. I can help people.
Yeah, I like that. Thank you for sharing, Shelly. Thank you.
Yep.
Would anybody else like to share where they are a year from now? If I ran into in a year. Teresa, is that you with your hand up? Do your hand up on purpose? Oh, Maria. Hi, Maria. Hi.
Well, a year from now, I will be fitter than I am, okay? I will be a motivator, like you are to me and to everybody here. I'm sorry.
No, it's great. You don't have to apologize. I love that. You're feeling it.
Yeah. And to help people.
Yeah.
To help people to feel confident, to turn into a healthier lifestyle, and to see that it's possible and it's all in your mind.
That's an amazing vision. I think that's
whatever you have in your mind, just vision it and work towards that. And don't let anything stop you.
I love that.
So I will, a year from now, I will be like that. And I know I'm gonna be.
Yes.
A leader,
you are.
In all areas.
So awesome, Maria. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So if this is hard for some of you, I just want to, and I understand I'm just scratching the surface here, but I want to share this example. And I did share a small version of this morning in the challenge, but if we were to all get in a car right now, and I were to say, just go drive, where would we end up? I mean, the answer is really, it depends, because some of you might have less gas in your car. Some of you might have an appointment or a schedule or someplace you need to be. Somebody might not feel like going anywhere. Like, we would just leave it to chance. There might be traffic. It might be snowing. It might be a thunderstorm. Like, who knows, right? We just don't know. The funny thing is, we go about life like that. Like, there's a lot of like, I kind of just want to be happy. I want to be this, but we don't really get clear on where we're going. So it's like getting in the car and just wandering. But if we were all getting in the car and I was like, hey, we are all meeting at Disneyland, or like we're all like enrolled that we're going to Disneyland or wherever it is that we're going, and we're all clear and we all get in our car and we say, go, we're going to be in Disneyland. Well, we are all going to end up in Disneyland if we're super clear on our vision and where we're going. We might get there differently. Some of you might drive to the train station. Some of you might drive to the airport. Some of you might just drive there. Some of you might pull out a map. Some of you might get out of the car and call a friend and ride with them, there'd be a lot of different ways, but we would be really clear where we're going to get to, and we would get there. That's the difference between vision and just wanting to get away from something. Just wanting to get away from something doesn't necessarily make it happen. So tonight, what I want you to get really clear on is where you want to go. Now, this is something, if you're struggling with this, I just want to reassure you that it's normal to struggle with it. So not everybody is like, I nailed it, but we're starting to peel back the layers of that onion a little bit, just to start to be aware of this, that the reason sometimes we don't have what we want is we're not clear on what we want. The reason we're not in the body that we want is we're not clear what that body is. The reason we're not in the career or business or environment that we want is because we're not clear on what it is that we want. We're just getting in the car and driving. We're not clear. We're not focused on it. Vision is critical. And when you get clear on that vision, or when you start to get clear on that vision, the next step is to decide that you're going to make choices from that new place. What that means is you're not going to operate from those past stories and beliefs. What that means is you're not going to operate from every time I try something, it doesn't work. What that means is you're not going to operate from this doesn't work for me. What that means is you're not going to operate from I'm not smart enough. What that means is you're not going to operate from every time I get in a relationship, it's terrible. Or everybody I work for is terrible. Or every job I have I don't like. Because those are past stories. We're going to operate from a place of vision and where we want to go. You all are starting to feel that I'm a little bit more than just literally the fat killer on your body. Because this is the key to unlocking change. It's this shift in patterns and mindset, which is super important. When we just go through motions and handle life as it's thrown to us, we never hit our target. We never get to a big vision. You know, some of you are subscribed to my podcast. If you're not, I have a podcast called Leveling Up. And I interview people that have overcome massive hardships and how they achieved results. Sometimes I do weight loss on there, but really what I do a lot of financial interviews. I do health interviews. I do all kinds of interviews. But the recurring theme is somebody that had a massive failure or hardship and reinvented themselves by doing a lot of these steps. Because it's always these steps: deciding, declaring, operating from vision, all of that. And this morning I shared one on there of a woman that had a heart attack at age 47. And can you imagine a heart attack at age 47? She survived, but unbelievable. But we never know how long we have. And many of you know, and many of you don't know, my dad died of a heart attack at age 49. He died of a heart attack at 49. I was in my early 20s. I was 22 years old when my dad died, and he was my world. And my dad was somebody who never put himself first. Now, he put himself first as far as like he liked his car and he had a good job and he would work. But as far as like, he never put himself first, like his health, his true vision, his goals, what he wanted in his life, his family, like things that are really the important things. He was just so focused on that to-do list all the time. And he dropped dead of a heart attack at age 49. And what my dad didn't get to see, it's not that he didn't like get to see me get married. He didn't get to see that somebody else walked me down the aisle. I mean, my dad didn't get to walk me down the aisle. Somebody else did. It's not that my dad didn't get to see, my daughter being born. He didn't get to see the other men that got to hold her, not him. He left this life way too soon because he didn't take care of himself, because he didn't put his health and his needs first, because he didn't get clear on his vision. He just worked and thought, I'm going to get through a list and I'm going to do these things. And one day later, when I can, I will. And that day never came. Now, are we living that way? Are you living that way? Are you operating that way? Or are you taking a stance to take action for yourself and your health and your vision and what you want? Or do you want to create that story for your kids and your family? Because we never know how long we have. We never know. Okay. Back to vision. What is it that you want? And who do you need to become to make those things happen? What choices do you have to start making so that you can step into that person you want to step into? What are those choices? What are those choices? Now, I showed you these before, but I'm going to show you some of these that I haven't shown you actually. I showed you a lot of these pictures. Last night you all met Nicole, and the night before that you met Landa. So you met Nicole, you met Landa. This was Landa before. She had to make these hard choices. She had to visualize she wanted this and take a step and take actions to get there. And she did it. I don't think you met Terry yet. This is Terry. This was Terry when I met her. Terry did not put herself first, ever. Let me tell you, Terry, it was a hard decision for Terry to start stepping into vision and putting herself first. This is Terry now. Terry is so thriving in her life. Like, I never hear from her. I have to reach out to Terry, like, how are you? Are you still there? She doesn't even remember being like this. That's what's so cool about the power of vision. When you get clear of who you want to step into, you literally start to become that person. And you can be that person this time next year. Starts with a decision and a vision. It's another one that you all haven't met yet. This is Karen. This is when I met her. She had a vision of she wanted to fly her plane again. She wanted to be healthy. She wanted to move. This is Karen now. She's in her 50s. It's possible. Show you one more. This is Susanna. Her why was her grandkids. She was on disability from work when I met her. She had a lot of stories of why she was a victim, why things weren't working in her life, why she was different, why nothing was working for her. She stepped into her vision, and this is her now. Susanna looks like she's like 20. She's a grandma. Literally, like, ages came off her, but she had to decide and she had to step into that vision. And I've got somebody on right now. Lori, I don't see you though. Lori, are you on? If you are, like, wave like crazy so I can see you and unmute you, because I'm scrolling and I don't see you yet. There you are. I see you. Hi, Lori.
Hello.
Hi. Can you guys see Lori? Hi. Okay, you guys, I want you to meet Lori Taylor. Oh my gosh, I don't even recognize you because your face is so tiny right now. For real. I don't have a before picture of Lori because she wouldn't let me take one. So, and I'm just being real.
Denial.
She wouldn't be real. Lori, thank you for being on. I've been having some guests come on because I want some of these women to hear what's possible because they're looking at vision and what they're stepping into. And I know it's hard to remember sometimes where you were, but we've talked about this, and I would love to ask you a few questions so they can see how that works and what that's possible. Do you remember where you were before you started working with me?
Yeah, where I was is I had got really unbalanced in my life. I was just really, really focused on my business and had a lot of excuses around how much time I had. I had it in my head. I've kind of resigned myself that, after I had the twins, I just didn't really at 38, I didn't really recover. And it's when I met you, what was it, 10 years later? I mean, boys were 9 or 10.
He was talking about our baby weight 10 years later.
Yeah, 10 years later. I was like, yeah. But the reality is that it's almost like I had the twins. I kind of tore my stomach, and I made up a story looking back on it now that was, well, it doesn't matter what I do because my stomach's always going to be messed up. And so I just started wearing big baggy clothes to kind of, because I wasn't even that heavy at that. I mean, literally right after I had the twins, I lost almost all of it except for about 15 pounds. And I wore big baggy clothes and I wore leggings. And like we were talking about, like my clothes were like hiding me and make me comfortable, in where I was at. Like I was able to just be in denial. I was in denial really about, in fact, it was funny. I do want to share this with people. It was funny. And it still happens for me today. So most of my life, as you know, I was a tiny, tiny person. And I almost was anorexic about it to where, I would see an anorexic person and think that looked okay. Right.
Wow.
And what's interesting is I've never been that quote unquote fat person in the room. Just never been that person. And it took me probably 5 years after the twins to realize that I had gained so much weight wearing those big baggy shorts, and shirts went from 15 to 20 to 25 to 30 to 40 pounds overweight. That's insane how much I weighed. And even then, I was so in denial about where I was that I would get pictures back of myself and be like, oh my God. Like, it wasn't even like I looked kind of fat in the photos. For me, I was enormous. Like I was 3 times the size of someone standing next to me who, in the physical moment of picture being taken, I felt like I was maybe one size smaller. Like, I'm so in denial about where I was physically that I had detached from it, disconnected from it, and almost just accepted it. Like, well, this is just what I look like now. And
Yeah.
and I wasn't happy, you know?
Do you remember it affecting your confidence?
Yeah, so it's interesting because you know how confident I am. I'm such a confident as a human being, but with my husband, I became very unconfident. Like, I didn't want him to see me without my clothes on. I was ashamed of my body. I don't know how to explain it, but it does shake your confidence. Even in business, I would go into a room and very, you know, good at business and that's my jam. And even then I would be like, oh, they'd take me more seriously if I wasn't as fat as I am. Or I would think to myself, like when I was teaching rigor in business, right? All the things I teach around business, I felt like a fraud because I'm standing there clearly not maintaining rigor around my health and my wellness at any level. And I'm out there telling people how they get to step up and be confident, all these things. But I felt out of integrity because of that. You know, it was one area of my life I showed up differently.
So did you remember having like specific habits or beliefs or like fears that were kind of keeping you there?
I think that was the part that you really helped me dig into, because I really just had an excuse where it was time, effort, tired, can't be good at everything. I got to get True Dog off. I got to take care of my employees. I had all these excuses that I wouldn't even say I was afraid of anything, but looking back now, you know, there was a lot of, it's almost like I didn't believe I could do it.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? It was almost like I've never had to lose 40 pounds. Hell, I never even had to lose 10 pounds. I've got a freak metabolism. My families are all freaks, right? So I don't even know how to lose weight. Do you know what I mean? So like when it came into it, and I probably didn't have enough compassion for my brother, my adopted brother, who struggled with his weight. And then to be in this position of being someone who knew what to do and just refused to do it. And I'm like, what is that about? Like, what self-loathing conversation is underneath all of that? And that's what you helped me discover, where, you know, I believe in all the personal development stuff and I do it, but that's what I got from working with you, was you weren't talking about how at that point we're like, you knew there was something else going on for me, you know, like that, because you know me. So you're like, why are you not just eating differently, moving your body? Like, it's so simple to do what you teach, but what's not simple is to want to stay there. Do you know what I mean? It's so easy to find those excuses. And you know?
So what did you have to like learn and overcome so that you could kind of get away from those excuses?
First of all, I had to get in a relationship with what kind of relationship I had with food. I mean, I almost felt like I had so much rigor and structure in my business life that it was almost like I just didn't want to maintain that. And so I developed this weird relationship with food where I was like 100% a comfort eater, like 100%, like, what am I going to eat for dinner tonight? What's going to make me happy? What's going to taste good? Not what was healthy. And it's not even that I ate so terribly, but I did. I mean, I did because I had no rigor. Like, basically, I ate whatever I wanted. Like, I was 16 years old. And so for me, it was really really getting a relationship. God, what it really was is getting a relationship with what I was trying to create in my life, and how this one area of my life was so out of integrity. It was almost a block for me to get everything in my life. Because the minute I stepped into space with you and started focusing on self-care, you know, and things like that, that wasn't just food. It wasn't just nutrition. It was taking care of myself and paying attention to my body and noticing it was thirsty and noticing I hadn't drank any water. And instead of being about your program, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you know, do all that, I got in your head and heard your voice. And it was like, your body needs water. Like, it's not about losing weight. It's about your body's thirsty. Your brain is tired. You are hammering your body. You're putting yourself in a toxic situation because you're eating too much sugar. You're not eating enough protein, right? All the things that your brain requires. And then you're not drinking enough water. And everyone's listening probably like, yeah, we all know to do that. Then why aren't you doing it?
Mm-hmm. Because it's
Right?
more than that. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I have 2 more questions for you that are really important. So like, I remember it, but I want to remember you created a vision for yourself before you were there, before you were where you were right now. Do you remember what that vision was, what you said? Because they're working on vision right now.
Well, I can tell you that the vision part was the most, I thought it was going to be done. Like, I was like, oh my God, it's not like I've never done a vision board. And then I went to do it. And the way you set it up was
So not vision board yet. Not vision. They don't even know about, they're not doing that yet, but the vision of the, like when you said what you wanted for your life, what you wanted for yourself.
I don't remember what I said to you then. I'm going to guess.
I remember what you said. I remember what you said. You don't remember?
No, I don't. You know, my TBI stuff, my stuff, but I'd have to say, tell me. I want to know what I
said. She wanted to be hot. That was your thing. You said, I want to be hot again.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I remember that. Like I did. I want to be sexy again. I want to feel sexy again. And I know, you know, part of the challenge was feeling sexy where I was at, right? Like finding that, because the reality is I think they're like, my daughter's gorgeous and thin and beautiful and she doesn't feel sexy, right? Because a lot of women have those conversations. And so what really got to me then was when you said to me, like, well, you could feel hot and sexy right now, because feeling hot and sexy creates hot and sexy, right? And so that, again, it's that mindset piece that you got to be in a group or with, like for me, not everybody, but for me, I do better. Like I do better in a group class at the gym than I do by myself. Like, because I see other people and I get tired and I see someone maybe that is older or has a knee brace on and I know they're struggling and they're still going, and I get motivated because I'm like, you know what, she can do it, I can do it. Then I see someone struggling and I smile at them. I'm like, we got this, girl. So for me, that part, that community was, but because I was so embarrassed about how fat I was, like I didn't even want to be in a community, right? So yeah. And again, I'm harsh on myself for everyone listening. I mean, maybe people weigh more than me or whatever. I don't walk around thinking the whole world's fat. I want people to know that. I'm like everyone else on this call. I beat myself up. I treat myself way crappier than I would ever let one of my friends treat themselves. And I talk to myself way crappier than I would ever let one of my friends talk to themselves. So, and we're all so hard on ourselves. So hard. And I loved your advice when one of the shifts for me, and it was hard when you're like, I just want you to wear tighter clothes. Like you don't have to wear sexy hot pants, but like, I just want you to wear a fitted shirt or a fitted blazer. How many
people can relate to that? Like you hide behind these, we've all been there. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And it does make a difference, because then guess what, that day when I did that, maybe I didn't eat the fries, right? Because my pants, I'm like, whoa, you're kind of in a relationship. But when you cover it up and it's all baggy and stretchy, it's like you don't even have an instant block to the decision you're making in that moment. So
true. Okay, Lori, one more question, and then I'm gonna keep going, but I'm gonna have you stay on because I want them to be able to ask you questions as well. But if you had like 30 seconds, because we're getting to the end of this challenge this week, but like if you had like 30 seconds to inspire someone on why they should bring this new information on, why they should listen to this, why they should invite this way into their life, or even invite me into their life as a mentor, some of them are even considering full body reset, what would you say?
I would tell everyone that if you're on this call and you're unhappy with anything, the way you look, the way you feel, your health, if you are unhappy for any reason, why are you okay staying unhappy? Why are you comfortable with that? Why can't you step into the space, invest into you, into yourself? Like, whatever your course is $497, whatever it is. And like, you're putting that out there right now. I know people on this call, that one lady, I loved her when she said, no one wants to be the fat sisters. That was hilarious. I was like, oh, I love her sense of humor. Susan, I think. But I mean, it was funny. I could relate, my sister and I. But the thing is that when I heard her, I know it's more than 30 seconds, but when I heard her say that, it really landed for me. And I just wish that we could all as women come together and achieve whatever we wanted to achieve together. And I believe that when we see each other striving for something and we see results, it can motivate us and not deflate us, right? So I saw this really cool, I know it's past 30 seconds, but it's too good. I saw this really cool meme, and it was a match. and it was a light, and there was a light on the top of it, and you could see the shadow behind the wooden part of the plate of the match, and then obviously the top part was in flame. There was no shadow behind the light. There was just a shadow behind, because there's no shadow behind light, right? So I've always told people, if we could all just shine as bright as possible, there would be no shadows. No one would ever feel small. But when we show up small and we dim our lights because we're worried that we're shining too bright and we're going to make someone else look or feel another way, we're selling out on ourselves and we're selling out on them. So the advice I'd give to someone, I love Susan, I think her name was Susan, talking about being an inspiration to her family. There is someone you know in your family that is more sick than you are, that is more unhealthy than you are, that's more unhappy than you are. And they're watching you and you don't know it. But what if you shifted? What if you became something that made them wake up and go, hey, what are you doing that's different because you seem happier? What if you're that person? What if you could impact 3 people just by your shift and who you be? And that's what I got out of it. Like, I got out of it. People were like, what are you doing? My family was like, what are you doing? They all wanted to eat the way I was eating. And it wasn't because I was getting so skinny. I lost like 12, 13 pounds. It wasn't like I dropped 100, right? But they wanted to know because I acted differently.
Yeah.
Because I felt better. And that's what I would tell everyone here to do.
Oh my gosh, that's so amazing. Thank you, Lori. Thank you. Will you stay on, Lori? Because I'm gonna open up for questions in a few, and I want they might have questions for you.
Yes.
So that would be amazing. Thank you. So for those of you that have been following along this challenge all week, I know some of you haven't watched all the videos, but I do want to share that, as I've been saying, the challenge is a start. The challenge is the Uber to the airport. I want to get you on the plane to Hawaii, right? I want to get you thriving into this. And I am going to bring it up a lot because I just so fully believe in this. But my best program, and the reason I developed this challenge, is my full body reset program. It is my top #1 program. It is the one that gets results. It's the one that everyone I've brought on here has done and gone through. I've got people on right now that have done full body reset, and they're doing it again because they want to stay in that community. And it's just so good. And I just want to, first and foremost, I want to congratulate, because there's a lot of people that enrolled in it today, and I wanted to say thank you, and I'm excited for you, like Jamie, Shelly, Robin, Jessica, Cheryl, Michelle, Holly. Oh, I get chills reading the names because I'm so excited for what's going to come for you all. Christina, another Shelly, Eileen, Cindy, Annie, Leslie, Jennifer, Brenda, Leah, Sharian, Linda, Deanna, Margaret, Gannon, Elizabeth, Donata, Hillary, Sheila, Erin, Melissa, and there might have been more since we started this call, but you guys are in for a great ride. It's going to be just absolutely phenomenal. So what this looks like if you decide to join Full Body Reset, I just want to walk you through what this means for you. It's 42 days together. It's 42 days together where you have a community that carries what you've learned here onto a whole new level. And I am very aware of people's schedules and life and busyness. So what I've done for you is I've made this super simple, bite-sized chunks that have a big punch. So bite-sized chunks that you can take in on your own time and really digest and learn. You have lifetime access to it. So you go at your own pace. But I have a support group that every single one of your questions gets answered. So you have a personal coach from me and my team this whole time. And you're going to get, just like we're doing these Zoom calls, you'll have this every week, but it'll be smaller because I only let a certain amount of people into Full Body Reset. So it's literally like one-on-one coaching. So like literally by like day 5, you're not feeling bloated anymore. Your cravings start to change. Your outlook starts to change on life. Get into like day 8 or 9, your clothes are starting to fit different. Your skin's starting to look different. You're looking at everything through a different set of lenses. By like day 15, you're starting to rewrite stories and you're really starting to step into your vision. So it's just absolutely incredible what this does for you. And it's funny, I've got colleagues that think I'm crazy for doing this, but I stand by it. I have always said that I do what's called an action taker's guarantee, because I don't feel I deserve to get paid unless you have amazing results. So what that means is if you do Full Body Reset with us and you go through the program and you do the assignments in there and you don't get results, I give you back your money, like no questions asked. And I'll tell you this, no one has ever asked me back for their money. Now, if you do the program and you don't actually do it, like if you get the program and you don't do it, that's a different story. But if I'm so sure that this works and I know this formula changes the way you look at nutrition, the way you look at fitness, the way you look at yourself, and it up levels your whole life, I'm so sure that I do that Action Takers guarantee. And it's awesome. So what you've gotten from me this week and what you'll continue to get through this challenge is a taste. It's a little bit of a taste. And I know what's amazing as I was reading the threads today, and so many of you had already said, I've lost some weight, I feel better, my energy has changed, all this stuff. And that's just a small taste. That's what's so cool about it. Okay, I'm gonna start taking some questions, and then I have a few more things for you. Somebody's saying, question, is anyone 58 or older? Yes, absolutely, Debbie. So just so you all know, I'm 47, by the way. So typically I attract women that are, within like 10, 15 years of me. That's what I attract. However, I've worked with all different ages. I've worked with 70-year-olds, 80-year-olds. I've worked with 20 and 30-year-olds. So I've worked with a big range. The ones that are usually attracted to me are within like 10, 15 years of me personally. But yes, absolutely. By the way, Lori is not 38. She was saying when she had her twins, she was that. She's 10 years older than that now. Or I might be a little bit off. Let's see. Lori, you got a lot of nice comments here. Thank you. Let's see. I think she landed for a lot of people on that. I got chills with her example too. Will you start over from the beginning with full body reset? I'm not sure what you mean, Eva. Eva, for the new group coming into full body reset, yes, we started the live version. We start day one together. So it like literally you would come in. We officially start on the 8th, and you'll start first with what's called prep week. So you have a week basically where I teach you how to clean out your fridge, your pantry, get your mind right. It's a prep week. And some people love to just follow prep week the whole time. But then we build on that. So we do start from the very beginning on that. Okay, so next thing I want you guys to do, and type questions if you have any, or you can also physically raise your hand in a minute. I'm gonna take lots of questions on anything. Blank piece of paper right here. So I wanna use this as an analogy, and I'm gonna have you get a blank piece of paper later, but this paper right here, this is where your story and your wins, your body love, your disease-free, pain-free, ultra sexy, confident, this is where your new self is. It's all on this blank slate, this blank piece of paper. It's not in all of these stories, past beliefs, past patterns, all these things. It's all right here. So this is where you can go. So one of the assignments I want you to do tonight is I want you to take a piece of paper. I want you to put your picture on it. Like literally put your picture on it. And I want you to write 5 characteristics that you want to step into this year. 5 characteristics that you want to step into this year. Write on this piece of paper. And take it a step further. If you did enroll in Full Body Reset, I want you to write on there, I am in. And please take a picture of it and put it in the group. Because I've talked to you about deciding and declaring, this seals the deal. So picture of you, 5 things you want to step into this year. If you're in Full Body Reset, I am in. If you're not in Full Body Reset, your assignment's to enroll in Full Body Reset because I see what's possible for you. And when I talk to you all and when I look at you on Zoom, one reason I love being here on Zoom and seeing your faces, when I talk to you all, I don't see all these things that you're seeing in yourself right now. I don't see all of these, the weight that we want to lose and the diagnosis and the self-imposed stops and the false assumed truths. That's not what I see with you. I see that person in you that is creating greatness. I see that toned, happy, fit, healthy, thriving person. I saw this in Nicole when she was here. That's what I see in you. And so I unapologetically am going to talk about Full Body Reset because that is the answer for you. It's what works and it's what would change things for you. So if you are in, it's thefullbodyreset.com. And I'm going to be sharing it a lot on social media and to my other audiences after this challenge is over, so next week. But I want you all in first before it gets filled since you all went through the challenge. So that's available for you. Okay, I'm going to open it up fully to questions, whether they're for me or whether they're for Lori. I've got Liana on too, so any questions about anything. I mean, whether it's the mindset, whether it's about nutrition, what you're learning, whether it's about workouts, your own personal stuff, your vision, whether it's about full body reset. Any questions are allowed right now. Anything while you've got me. Raise your hand physically or type it out, and I'm going to scroll through. Or if you have a question for Lori, you can do that as well while she's on. Let's see. I'm just going to scroll through. Any questions? Wave your hand. Let's see. It took me until this morning to say that I have decided to I love that. I love that. Let's see. Okay. Oh, somebody's asking about vision boards. Yes, in Full Body Reset, we have a special way that we do vision boards because I get it. So we really seal a deal with your vision. So I help you do that. Okay. Somebody's asking, I am struggling with myself as I transition from kids at home to kids away at school and just life. Anyone else? Yes, I'm sure there's a lot of people struggling with that. So I totally get you on that. Are there any power drinks before workouts you suggest? So I'm not a power drink person, you all, but what I do before workout is I tend to have, for me, I tend to do a little bit of caffeine. So I do something called an e-shot. It's like a little bit of caffeine. You could do coffee. I don't do anything with artificial sweeteners or crazy ingredients, but I tend to do that. I also sometimes take what's called branched chain amino acids, and I get a lot into that in Full Body Reset. I talk about options for supplements if that's something you're into, but branched chain amino acids help with repair and recovery. So I do that. Chantel, she's asking examples of 5 characteristics, please. Absolutely. So an example of 5 characteristics on that piece of paper would be, I'm fit. I'm financially abundant. I'm in a thriving relationship. I have a career that I'm passionate and feel on purpose about. That's an example. I feel sexy. All of that. Veronica said, I signed up a year ago, but I didn't finish. But I need to purchase again. Veronica, you have lifetime access to the actual program you purchased, but for the live version, you don't have to purchase fully again. But if you contact support, we have an alumni price, which means you pay just for the live part of the challenge. So I hope that answers your question. So let's see. When you feel overwhelmed and have so many things to change, where do you start? Adriana, good question there. Okay, so a lot of times we hear about taking massive action, right? About taking massive action to get results. I don't love massive action. Yes, massive action works. It gets very intimidating. What I like is one step at a time, because one step forward in the right direction at gets you accomplish great things. I talk about the same thing with weight loss. Some people think 2 pounds a week is slow, but after a year, that's over 100 pounds. It's a lot. So when you feel overwhelmed, Adrienne, we just start. We start with something. We start with a step. For example, maybe you start with purchasing Full Body Reset. Like you make that decision. Then you start with going through a video. Or maybe you start with, I'm going to take more steps each day. Or I'm going to start with the tips on this challenge. So you just start. You start with something. You take small steps forward and they add up to big things over time. Nancy, do you have a question? I see you up there. So hi, Nancy.
Hey.
Hi.
Yeah, I was just wondering, okay, you was talking about like green tea.
Yep.
Can we not drink like bottled green tea, or what kind of green tea do we need to drink?
Any type of green tea is fine. I just be aware of the sweetened stuff because there's sugar added.
Okay, what about the diet, like Lipton?
So I'm not a fan of the diet stuff typically because it usually has artificial sweeteners in it.
Okay.
If you found one without it, that's fine. But what happens with artificial sweeteners, Nancy, is our body thinks we're getting the calories, but we're not.
Mm-hmm.
So we start craving more.
Okay, so what would you suggest?
Yeah, so what I would suggest, if you really want tea, literally just use a tea bag and water. And then you can make it hot or cold. If you really need something sweet, add some stevia to it, or add like a little bit, like a teaspoon of honey or something like that. I'd rather.
Okay, so do they have green tea in bags?
Yes, they absolutely do.
Okay.
Yeah, and you could do regular tea too. It's just that the challenge is when you're doing a lot of caffeine, that could dehydrate us more. So
Mhm.
like black tea has less caffeine than coffee, but there's still caffeine in it. I am
Right.
caffeine. It's just, are we drinking it all day long? Or, you know, because that's going to dehydrate us more.
Okay.
Got it. Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. A few more questions. Let's see. Is it okay to use coconut aminos? Absolutely. I use those all the time to cook, by the way. Let's see. Somebody is saying, I'm not ready to join. How many times a year do you do a full body reset? I don't know. Erica, I don't know. I did it last year 3 times. Sorry, I did live 2 times last year. I'm sorry. I believe I did it 2. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. It would not, I don't know if I'll do it again live. We have it available many times throughout the year, but it's not always the live version. So if you can make a decision to do the live, I would highly suggest it, because the other thing is, you all, if you make decisions from where you want to go, I mean, I just want to just entertain me for a minute here and think about this. If you are stepping into the person you want to become, if you knew you could become that person that you want to become in that vision, what price or what time would you put on that? Because make a decision from that person, because I don't know that I've had anyone ever complete full body reset and have results that didn't say to me, I would have paid 3 times for this, or I wish I did it sooner. So make a decision from where you're going versus where you are right now. And I understand, believe me, I understand that as a hard concept to grasp. I really do. But when you can operate from that place, it makes a big difference. It makes a big difference. Now, I will share too, if you're thinking about it, and you don't know if you could be on all those calls or whatever, still do it, because the advantage of getting it is you get that community, and you get we record the calls just like we are here. So you still get all of those things with it. So that's what's there. Let's see, oil and butter when cooking, these count as your fat for your meal. Yes, it does. Now, Joella, for that question, so I use the spray coconut oil when I cook sometimes, and if I'm just like spraying a little bit, I just don't even worry about it. I don't count it. But if you're using like a tablespoon of it, yes, absolutely, you want to count it. I think you want to have it. Veronica, yes, you said when you signed up and it wasn't live. So Veronica, you can contact support, because it's a small upgrade to do the live version, and that way you can be part of the live. Is it suitable for diabetics? Absolutely, no question, without a doubt. And just to give you a little background, my mom actually has type 2 diabetes. She's reversed it eating this way. And my sister has type 1 diabetes. So I'm very familiar with diabetes. Now here's the thing, and you could run this by your doctor, and I by all means do that. What I teach is an unprocessed natural food way of eating. That's healthy for everybody. So no matter what you've got going on, that's not going to make it worse. And what's really cool about what I teach is we're so low on starch and sugar, and we balance things, that your blood sugars tend to regulate better. So absolutely, you can do this. If you're concerned, run it by your doctor for sure. But I've yet to have a doctor say they have an issue for this. Let's see, I'm interested in sharing my day's menu to see if I'm on task with plate planning. Cindy, absolutely. Share it in the Facebook group that's currently right now for the Quick Body Reset Challenge. Share it, and we can absolutely comment and help. Somebody's saying, I'm allergic to coconut and nuts. What do you think about peanuts? Okay, so peanuts are still a fact. I'm not a fan of peanuts because they are a legume and they act a little different in our body. And they also tend to have a higher rate of mold. So I don't love it. However, if you can't have other nuts and that's the only one you can have and you really want that, you can count it as your fat. I talked earlier on different live sessions that we've done about there's always the good, better, and the best. So you make the best choice that you can that works in your life. So do I ever have peanuts? Absolutely. I have them. It's just not one of my staples right there. Joella, there's one live meeting on Zoom per week on the program. What do we do the other days? Is there a schedule to follow? Good question, Joella. So the way that it works when you do full body reset is you're actually going to get login to an entire membership site. And we have content already organized there for you. We drip it to you in bite-sized chunks. So like when you log on, like today, if you got it, you log on, you're going to see an entire prep week there of videos, like videos every day for mindset, for nutrition, for workouts. It's all right there for you. Not only a PDF, but actual videos of me talking and explaining and assignments. So there's plenty of there. So the bonus stuff is the Facebook group, the community, and the live Zooms with me. So, and there's other bonuses in there, by the way. There's a lot of bonuses. You have my DVDs in there. You have other stuff in there as well. but just the full body reset modules, it's videos that are, I really was aware of, like, I wanted this to be, how can I simplify this so anyone can do this no matter what their schedule on their own time. And I've had people, sometimes they'll binge watch the videos, like they'll watch all the week's videos in one time frame, or some will like create a system where every day for X amount of time they'll watch the videos. You can go through it all different methods. There's a lot of people on here that have gone through it. I don't know. Let me just scroll. I'm going to pick somebody that's been through it and ask them if they mind. Landa, do you mind sharing like kind of how you went through full body reset when you did it first?
Yeah, so I went through it live, and honestly, I didn't think that the Facebook group going to do anything for me. I just thought like nobody knows me, and just a bunch of strangers. But when I actually started just kind of be active and following the program and being active and participate, and it turns out that the group in the Facebook group was actually a very strong tribe for me, and I was able to get support, encouragement, answers, and I was able to also turn around and help others. And that was what I feel that most of my success came from, is just a group of people I could go to and go, hey, I'm struggling with this. I have questions, and people would say, oh, I got that question answered a while ago. Here's what it is. And we're just a bunch of friends just helping each other out because we all have the same goal. And
do you remember how you did the video modules, Landa? Like, did you do all yours in like one, did you watch them all one day a week? Did you watch a little bit every day? How did you do it?
I did it daily. So I like smaller chunks so I don't get overwhelmed, but it's so easy to go back when I have questions and look at some other videos from the days before. And also for future, I do go back at times to look at for reference.
Got it. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Do you have a question, Elizabeth? I see you there. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Great, how are you?
Good. You know what? No, I just wanted to say, this morning I bought the full body reset, and I contemplated back and forth because I was thinking to myself, okay, can I afford this? Can I not? But then breaking it down, I'm like, what? It's $83 a week. So people eat out. Let's just say you eat out, $15 a day. There's your money. So I said, stop the eating out, start doing more meal preps. But I think everybody has issues with eating different ways. So like mine was always more starchy carbs. I work out, but I think if we're eating that, they say 80% is diet. So I wasn't helping myself anywhere there. I do work construction. So for me, you're always on the go. And I thought to myself, okay, I make lunches for my kids. I make lunches for my husband. And I always forget about myself because I'm like, okay, if I'm at home in the office or whatever, I'll just pick on whatever. But then you're snacking throughout the day. And I think especially if you're doing office work, you are sitting there and you're binging on whatever you first grab. So like, I see, I'm motivated by people like you. And I think to myself, okay, this is great. If they could do it, I sure could do it, right?
Yeah.
So maybe we could get rid of this big fat belly and move forward.
I love it. Welcome to it. I'm excited that you're doing it.
You know what was weird is, I think I put in the questions before. I actually started on Sunday because I felt really bloated. So on Sunday, I just did like a full gallon of water. That's all I had because I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to cleanse my body. And then I'll start you Monday. And I'm like, okay, I'll eat the clean eating. On Tuesday night, I woke up. I had a massive headache. Now I did like coffee detoxing before because way too much caffeine throughout the day. And I remember having that headache. This headache that I had from the lack, because I didn't do any starchy carbs at all. All week I've been just eating like the fruits and vegetables, like you had said, my proteins, my healthy fats. Yeah. But I could not believe the headache. Nothing helped. Like I tried taking Tylenol, I had your migraine. It did not work. But then once I got through that, so today's Thursday. Yesterday I felt fabulous. I had like the energy. I actually worked out in the morning. I did a yoga class at night. So if I could do it, I'm 42. I'm like, if I could do it,
I love it. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. By the way, I'm not going to make anyone do a water cleanse, so don't worry. So,
that was my own.
That was all her. Yeah, I'm not. Nobody's doing a water cleanse with me. That didn't come from me, but thank you. Okay, so a few more questions here. Let's see. How many minutes a day will we be exercising? Okay, you guys are going to love this part. You're going to love this question. You guys, I'm a workout. working out. You guys know that about me. I love fitness. I love working out. You actually don't even have to work out on Full Body Reset. Believe it or not. You're going to have such a shift with mindset and nutrition that you will probably want to work out, but you don't have, people get results without it. So rest assured, yes, workouts are part of it, but you don't even have to do them. You do have to do the mindset and the nutrition. I'm going to share that. Like that is critical. And the cool thing about working out is when you start adding that element in, then you have more room to be flexible on your nutrition. That's the thing. So the more you start working out, the more you can be flexible there. But if you're like, I don't want to work out or I have an injury or whatever it is, you don't have to do it. So I won't make you. I'm not like physically in your house making you do it. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Let's see. Does a little coconut palm sugar in coffee need to be consumed with a meal? No, if you're like, you guys, a teaspoon of sugar is like 30 calories, just to put it in perspective. So a little bit is not going to make a big deal. Now, if you are type 2 diabetic, or you have a lot of sensitivity with sugar, or that's one of your goals, like to get off sugar, I'm going to say something a little different. But for general, a little bit is okay. A little bit is okay. Let's see. What do you think about, is this Facebook group for the week going to continue after the week? For now it is. I can't promise that the challenge group Facebook is going to go forever, but I'm not planning on closing it like right now or anytime soon. I want you all to have access to the videos and the content that we put there and to each other. So I'm going to keep that open for a while. If I have guacamole on my meal, can I count it as a fat? Yes, it is a fat and count it as a fat for sure. What's the differences from MBA? Oh, Kelly, good question. Okay, so Mind Body Academy was one of my very first academies that I created. Full Body Reset is a whole nother level. But if you did purchase MBA, you can still get the alumni discount. So message support and we will do that, okay? So if you did purchase Mind Body Academy, you can have the alumni discount. So just message support and let us know that, and we can look that up and we can make that happen. Let's see. Is the participant who is talking at Disney World? Wow. Oh, I think that might be, I think that was a screen in her backdrop. but maybe, are you at Disney World, Elizabeth?
No, I went to Disney in January and I just chose that as my background.
I love it.
So no, I'm not in Disney, but it is nice.
It looks fun. I just learned that we could do that with Zoom, like putting these fun little backgrounds on. I'm gonna start putting some fun backgrounds on for you guys. I should put
I was on early, so I was watching. I was picking through what background.
I love it. I'm gonna start doing that. Thank you. Let's see. I did FBR on my own as a live version because it was available at the time. I did my videos daily and actually listened to them on my phone in my car driving. That's great. I would go back later. Awesome. I love that. Great suggestion, Diane. And Shelly said, Landa is a rock star. Yes, she is. Landa is a rock star. How much, let's see, for workouts, how much time or days do you recommend strength and cardio workouts? Okay, it depends, Cindy. So much depends on lifestyle and what you're doing the other time. So I will tell you, I'm going to tell you what I do, and then that should help. Okay, so for me, I don't do like a planned cardio thing. For me, I'm active most days. Like I love to walk. I love like hiking. I love moving. I'm sitting right now, but I'm typically standing, not sitting. So I typically will be moving and like just keeping my body moving. That's the way I look at it, like moving it. But when I do my workouts, I focus on intensity and progression. So when I am doing a workout, it may not be crazy long. It could be 10 minutes sometimes 40 minutes, just what I feel like. But I focus on, am I being intense and am I progressing? And I'd rather get that intensity and that progression up and go shorter than the long drawn out cardio. So that's what I do. I do primarily body weight. I'm not against weights. I do weights sometimes, but I'm primarily body weight, similar to what I've been teaching you guys in the morning. And I just keep going up. What I teach in Full Body Reset is going to be all body weight, just so you know, because I want people to be able to do it everywhere. So what I share in there is body weight. That doesn't mean you can't add the gym or whatever else you want, and we can help support you with that, but we do base it on that. Let's see. Okay, what do you think of having a plant-based protein shake and almond milk? I'd have to look at the ingredients, and by the way, that's something else we do in Full Body Reset because we'll have a small group. I can help you with all your like personal supplements and protein. Like if you do that, like what we usually do is you'll post it in the group and we look and we help you with that. So that's another thing, we'll help you with that. Veronica, I'm excited for you to do this too. Does your program help you change body problem areas with toning the body? Yeah, I love that question. Great question, Debbie. Okay, so here's the thing about spot reduction. You're gonna love this. So we can't, first the bad news. The bad news is you can't like physically change an area of your body just by being like, I'm going to do a lot of bicep curls and change my arm. You can't just like spot reduce an area, but this is what you can do. You can drastically change the way something looks by building the muscle in that area and then losing overall fat, which then will reveal it. Does that make sense? Like if you're overweight and you're doing a lot of crunches and a lot of ab work, we're not going to make our stomach smaller. But what we would do is we're going to create muscle, and then by burning overall fat, which is done a number of ways, through diet, through calorie deficit, through drinking more water, through creating muscle, which makes our metabolism work faster and better, and it'll be working better at rest. By doing all those things, we're going to burn fat. And by training the way that I teach with those high intensity, like quick bursts, we're going to burn more fat. So we start revealing that. So that's how you can change an area. But it's not like we can say, okay, we're just going to get rid of the muffin top. Like it's yes, we can change the way that looks by developing muscle and then losing overall fat. And that's what changes that. I hope that answers your question there. Let's see. Can I talk about collagen? Yes, absolutely. So collagen is what our skin is made of. Okay. Collagen is in hair, nails, skin. There's a big buzz around it lately because it's very good for gut health. It's really well known in anti-aging because it does help keep the skin youthful. It helps keep gut health great. It's so good for you. So a lot of people will do it, me included, through bone broth. I drink a lot of bone broth. And I swear that has contributed a lot to how I feel, how I look, all of that, doing that. Now I can't, because I don't want bone broth all the time, I do use a collagen powder. Now collagen in itself, if you have a scoop of collagen protein, it's not the same amount of protein that you would get in like a scoop of whey protein or some other sources. So it's truly just a supplement. So I use collagen personally a couple different ways. One in my bone broth soup, which I have a lot. I typically will be sipping on bone broth, which by the way is also unlimited on my plan. So like in Full Body Reset, we talk a lot about that. But I also will use it in powder form, and I'll add it to a smoothie, or I'll add it to, I use coconut yogurt sometimes, add it to that, put it on berries. So it's one of my favorite things to do. Let's see, a few more questions. Okay, pea protein versus whey protein. Oh my gosh, so many good questions. Okay, I'm gonna answer a few more questions. So with protein, and actually in Full Body Reset, I go through an entire education on protein powder, because there's so many different kinds. There's like egg, whey, casein, pea, hemp. There's like a million of them. But just in a nutshell, whey protein originally is like the best part of dairy. So I'm not a huge dairy fan, but whey is the best part of dairy. And the cool thing about whey protein is what it does is it's fast digesting, fast absorbing. So like bodybuilders and fitness people, you love it because as soon as they have it, it goes right to your muscle. Like it works quickly. It absorbs very quickly. So a lot of people will have it pre-workout. The other thing that whey protein does is it controls our appetite. It makes us less hungry. So when you have whey, you tend to be less hungry. So it's a great way to get a lot of protein in fast. Now I don't love whey personally because it is dairy based. So it doesn't help with inflammation. It doesn't help with skin. It definitely does not help with autoimmune. So I'm not a fan of whey for myself and for a lot of my clients with autoimmune. Okay. But if you like it, if you're using dairy based proteins, whey is going to be the fastest digesting. Like casein would be a very slow digesting one. Let's see. Natalie, I do not need to lose any more weight, but I want to tone up my body and start building muscle. What can I do to do this? Okay, so Bimala, the key on that is going to be resistance training, whether that's body weight or with weights, but we have to create tension on muscles, and we do have to get protein up for you. So I don't know if when you say plant-based, are you vegan? And I need to look at what sources of protein you're using, because this is an issue with most vegans. I'm just going to be really upfront. I'm not saying it's not possible, but the reason I'm not a fan personally of a vegan diet, I get it. I get why people want to do it for ethical reasons and all that. I'm not going to challenge you on that. As far as fat loss, muscle, strength, long-term bone health, not a fan. The research just does not support it. So that's my stance on that. So for me, I'd have to look at it to get the muscle, to get the protein in that, you're going to need to add a lot of protein. That's going to mean a lot of vegetables to juice and to get that right. I'm not the person to design a vegan diet for you. I'm just going to be upfront. If you're vegetarian, that's different. I can work with you. Now, if you are a vegan and you want to do my program, you still will get results. I just want to be clear on the nutrition part. It's not a vegan plan. It's definitely not a vegan nutrition plan. So, okay, I'll take a few more. Any more final questions? I'm going to scroll through real quick. Raise your hand if you have any. Okay. Is everyone clear on their assignment tonight with their paper? Yay. I see one question here. Christina. Hi, Christina.
Hi. Hi. So I've been wanting to ask since yesterday. I remember like we had a connection problem, but I wanted to ask about kombucha and water kefir. Like, do you ever take that, or do you? And that, like, I've been like, I cut it off ever since I started this Jumpstart 5 days, because I didn't really know, like, is that too much sugar? How much is in it? Does it vary? Because that's also
good question. Yeah, so I like kombucha is very trendy right now, and I get it. It's great for gut health. It's for those of you who don't like a fermented drink, and it's got probiotics. I don't personally do it. I don't personally, and I'm not against it. It's just, it does have a lot of sugar. It's a lot of calories, and I feel you can get the same benefits having a probiotic. So me personally, if you want it and you really want it, just monitor. What's that?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Would you substitute fruit serving, or
with a what serving? You
how would that go? Like, with?
I'm sorry, Christina, it keeps cutting out, so I can't hear what you're saying. You're saying, would I substitute it with what?
With a fruit.
Oh, with a fruit. Okay. So basically, if you really want kombucha, I would count it as your carb. I would count it as your carb, and then stick to other vegetables for your carb, because there is a lot of sugar in it. I'm just not, I don't love it for fat loss. For gut health, I get it. Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks. Forward to joining.
Yes. Awesome. Okay, and somebody just asked if I did it. Yes, if you bought FLA, Fat Loss Academy, Mind Body Academy, or Full Body Reset, ever, you get an alumni discount for sure. Now, if you are a platinum client of mine, we've already told you, like, that means you've been to like my breakthrough weekends, my VIP, you get the live for free, always. So that's that. What do you recommend for women 40, 53 going through menopause? No weight to lose, but I put on a little fat. Same things as I'm sharing here. I'm 47, and I have not gone through menopause yet. I'm definitely perimenopausal, but I've helped a lot of women in that stage, so I'm very aware of it. And I would still teach these same things with the unprocessed natural food diet, for sure. Okay, let's see. I will be fasting for a month. Can I still join your program? You absolutely still can. So what I would do if you're fasting and you're joining the program, you'll follow the mindset stuff. You'll have the nutrition information. You'll still learn from it. You can still do the workouts. You can still be part of the community, all of it. The materials don't go away. The materials don't go away. Hang on a second. The materials don't go away, so you will always have those. So even if you can't participate in the full thing, you do it that way. You have it all. Let's see, a few more. My first time here, and I wanted to tell you. Thank you, Gabriella. That's so nice. Thank you. Let's see, a few more. I use plain unsweetened kefir on smoothies. That's okay. Yes. Kombucha can be expensive. Yes. Let's see. Just scrolling, make sure I didn't miss anyone. Okay, what do you do? I like this. Nicole, what do you do when you have stopped eating for the night at 7 p.m. and your husband sits down on the couch at 10 p.m. with his second slice of cheesecake? I would kick him out. That's grounds for divorce. I'm just kidding. Wow, husband. That's a tough one. I would probably have a bite of it. I'm just going to be real. You know what? That's enrolling your husband in your vision. It really is going to come down to that. Like, what does your husband want for you and your health and your family and him? And just coming from an authentic place of asking. So like, okay, I'll give you guys real time. This is real talk here. This is real talk. My husband, Brooks, he can eat like literally whatever the heck he wants. It drives me nuts. Like he can eat whatever he wants. He has like 6-pack abs. I can't stand it. Like, and if he wants to lose weight, he like just says, I'm going to lose weight, and he loses weight. Like he's a genetic freak. Nothing seems to do anything with him. So he can eat whatever he wants. Me, on the other hand, I cannot at all. And I have a problem with things that I love. Like I can't keep it around me or I will binge eat it. So if someone gives me chocolate. Oh, this is real. Brooks was out of town 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, he's out of town. And I'm being like really good on my diet, everything. And I get a delivery at the door and I open it and it's the return label says fudge. I'm like, really? You're out of town and somebody just sent us a box that the return label says fudge. Not to mention it was that time of month, like I'm approaching. So I'm looking at this and it's like to Brooks Holland and it says like fudge. I'm like, what do I do? What do you think I did? I opened the dang thing. I think I ate like a whole block of the fudge. So I have no control when it comes to that stuff. So what I have to do is feel sorry for myself and get mad that I did that. And then when he's here, he has to hide stuff from me. He literally, I have to tell him, babe, this is what I want in my life. This is what I'm working on. And he is enrolled in that. He gets it. And he will literally hide stuff from me and dish me out a little bit. That's what I do. So with the cheesecake, I would say it's the same thing. Like you have to have a talk with him, not when the cheesecake's right there, but ahead of time. Like, hey, I'm working on this. This is important for us. This is why. This is why I'm doing this for my family. This is why I'm doing this. Can I ask you to please not do that in front of me or hide it or have it someplace else and just get real and tell him the truth. I'll tell you, if Brooks was on the couch eating cheesecake, I'd have a problem too. So that's why I'm saying it's going to be having that talk around that and sharing your values and your vision of what you want for each other. So I completely get that. Erica saying, I know this is silly, but how do you make bone broth? It's not silly. I do not make my own bone broth. I buy it frozen. Making your own bone broth, all I know is it involves like chicken feet, and I was out. I'm like, it's not happening. In fact, I have a video, you can Google it, Natalie Jill bone broth on YouTube. You'll actually see me making it with a chef. And I was like, it's not happening. So there's no bone broth being made in my house. I buy it all and it stays in the freezer. That's what happens with if you guys can do it with chicken feet, I commend you. That's amazing. I can't do it. Let's see. A few more questions. Support home. Yes. Awesome. Are you guys going to do the paper tonight? Do the paper. Remember, picture of you, what you want a year from now, what you want to step into. If you're in, write, I'm in. Post it for me so I can see. Put it in the group. Put it in the challenge group. If you're not in, I'm going to say do it. Do it. I know it's possible for you. Listen, you have nothing to lose. Nothing to lose except for those false assumed truths. As I told you, it's an action taker's guarantee. So you enroll, you do it all, you don't get results, I give you back your money. So you literally have nothing to lose. I promise you that's not gonna happen. You're gonna do it. You're gonna get massive results. You're gonna be excited. People do not fail in this program. It works. Okay, let me make sure I'm not missing anything here. So yes, your ideal vision, or your ideal self. So Debbie, for the paper, I want you to think about for sure, what your vision of your ideal self is a year from now. Absolutely. But on the paper, I want you to put a picture of you. And then the 5 things, like if you were to, what are those characteristics that describe the new you? What are those things? Write that. Thanks, you guys. I'll be back on tomorrow, 6 a.m. live in the group with our final challenge in the morning. I'm excited. Who's excited? And then tomorrow night, also back on Zoom for our final live call here. So if you have any questions I've mixed, bring them to the table tomorrow because I want to make sure we finish this challenge strong. If you're joining Full Body Reset, I am so excited because we get to carry on. I keep saying 42 days, but it's actually a little longer than that because you'll be in earlier before it starts. So we have a lot more time together. Thank you all. Have a great night. Bye.